Looked like there were going to be technical difficulties. Okay, let's see if we can go live on Facebook. Everything was going smoothly when I tried things out earlier. So we'll see. Looks like it's going to. Okay. So far, so good. All right. Okay. Before I get started today, I have an announcement. I need to focus on being able to keep my house. And so next week and maybe for some time after that, and anyway, I can't say that there's going to be a show, another show. Not at this point. I need to turn my focus to that, and I'm not sure what all will be involved. So today I thought I would share some of my favorite videos here with you. Maybe some other things too. I wanted to let you know that all I need to do at this point is gather $3,000, and then that will take care of the immediate issue here. So I'm going to be focusing on that. I'm going to be putting out daily offers on the trainings and other things that I have. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll be getting that. Also in any groups that I have, I'll be doing that, and other social media, putting out the offers. I planned to do this before, but I didn't. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be, where my energy is going to be going. So at this point, I'll just get started. Okay. I had considered sharing, in fact, if I have time, I should be sharing one of the lessons from the course on the One Rule, called Friendly Parents, Happy Kids. And this is in there also. It's in the introduction. So we'll do it here. Okay. Welcome to Karen Ryce's Raising Happy Kids Zoom show. Intro to creating peace and harmony with the One Rule. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the One Rule. The One Rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the One Rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You found agreement. You found harmony. Knowing and following the One Rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the One Rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The One Rule, start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? Everyone feeling good and getting along. You've decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do, and you do not want to do what you do not want to do, and you are going to make this work. You have decided that you want to use the One Rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the One Rule, you are sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together, we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. To create this new habit, you're going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you're going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Think about a situation. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, your work on that is done. If no, what would have to change, be different so that I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of this situation would feel fine with you, maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the One Rule. No matter what age your kids are, this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the One Rule so much easier. Here's an understanding that might make following the One Rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they are connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared, to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me, and as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I am not teaching them anything they don't know. I'm not teaching them anything strange to them. I'm just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you're using the one rule. Most likely, you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. That is what I'll do. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together, you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store before I go grocery shopping. Even with your kids, you are using the one rule. You are coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You are just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So at times you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You are becoming used to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated and it seems that it is impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. That's part of what's going on in my situation. An important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work so that everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. A clear, helpful way to introduce using the one rule to your kids actually originates from the first time the children introduced me to what is now the one rule. You can do what I did. So they could understand what we were doing, I told the two little girls 3 things. 1, you are each important. Point to each person involved. You are important and you are important. And if it's your problem too, I am important. 2, you or we each deserve to feel good. 3, we can use the one rule to find a solution that feels good to each of you or us. Then tell them what the one rule is. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. That makes sense, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, what we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. I guess I can relate to that. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they are interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. It doesn't mean that everything that interests our kids is going to always interest them. They may be interested for their lifetime, or even for 10 years, or only 10 days or 10 minutes. The point is that they are following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them, or the length of time it interests them. So if they ask for your help, please help your kids follow their interests. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they're asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something instead of resisting doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist that they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. Helping them follow their interests is actually the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. I'm glad you're here. Okay. One thing that kept coming to mind during this process was a challenge that I've been putting together. They call them that these days, where you learn something that you can actually apply, and some of them take just a few days. There are challenges that are for a month. One time I did a month challenge. It was really, really helpful. It was focusing on things you're grateful for or glad about. That was my approach, that I was glad about. Anyway, I started putting together a challenge, and I might be able to put that out during all this time, this Save the House time. Anyway, the challenge had to do with feeling good again. And this has been putting me through that and having to use my, well, I do anyway, but use my own tool bag. So I might put that one out. Okay. This is another video that is in the training. It also was created for one of these shows. Most of my videos were, except for the ones I've created for the training. Okay. This, though, is, I think, near the end of the training. Okay, let's see. And it was maybe International Peace Day or something like that. That's why I did this. But I'm glad I did it anyway. The one rule keeps peace in the family for you. When I started working on today's slideshow, I thought I understood certain things. But as I worked, more was revealed. Recently, there have been questions and concerns that using the one rule might not work. I understand where these concerns come from. After all, it is such a different approach than parents are in charge. Not only that, it's so simple. How can something that simple work? It just couldn't be that simple. And since it is so simple, it must not really work. It's got to fail. It doesn't make sense. Although I really want everyone to adopt the one rule when relating to kids from birth onward, by just adding it to whatever way they parent now, I do understand the concerns, and I'm going to do my best to address them today. When I was first introduced by 3-year-old children to what I now call the one rule, I told them to help them understand what I wanted to help them do, that they were each important. Now that, I'm going to take a little time here, that we are each important. That is like an essence statement of the one rule. It was like, I thought of the word, I thought of that it's like a motto. It's the motto. We are each important. Or because we are each important. If you go to my happykidscode.org website, you'll see that. Okay, and I may as well take the time here to share with you something that I have become recently very aware of, and that is that just using the one rule increases the peace, harmony, happiness, and other good things of the people that use it. And I feel like this is something, this understanding that we're each important, and the power of the one rule, just using it. You don't have to figure out anything. You don't have to know anything. I've written on that recently, but now it's easy and simple. If you want to increase peace, harmony, happiness, all good feelings, just use it. Use the one rule. Okay, onward. Then I pointed to each of them and said, you are important and you are important. They could agree with that. One little girl's awareness expanded to realize that they were both important. I saw it as her eyes lit up. I now realize that her eyes may have lit up because she thought of a solution. However, before thinking of the solution, she had to accept that the solution had to be something that they both liked. Until now, I've believed that her eyes lit up because she expanded her thinking to accept that both of them were important. Of course, that may be true. However, it's only now that I've come to realize that whether that is true or not, by following what is now known as the one rule, she found a peaceful, harmonious solution, a solution that was enjoyable for both of them. That is true for anyone who uses the one rule. There may be more than one peaceful solution, but it has been my experience working with kids that there is always at least one agreeable solution. No one has to believe that they are important or that the other person is important. But when a solution is discovered that all involved truly like, so they can agree to it, they are acting in peace. They are peace in action. This is built into the one rule. That's why what I just said about just use the one rule, it'll increase the peace, harmony, happiness, and other good things in your life. This is why. Because you are being peace, harmony, happiness in action. Even if people's awareness does not expand to include the importance of the other person, as long as they are following the rule, they find a solution that they both like or they all like, and they agree to use that solution. The result is peace. They also get to feel good about themselves and their life. They're happy with the solution. It may not be the solution they originally thought of, but they like it anyway. That is why they agreed to it. Think about how you feel when things are going the way you want them to go. You feel good, right? Another thing I mentioned to those first two little girls was that they both deserve to have what they want, and that we were going to figure out how to do this. This is the main thing that people have trouble with. This is why people have trouble believing that the one rule works. They want something and someone else wants the same thing. Or I will put this in here because I think it should be in here. They want something and someone else wants something that seems like it will produce a conflict with what the first person wants. They don't necessarily want the same thing, though that could happen. Like the little girls both wanted to swing on the same swing. And it was the only swing available. Oh my goodness, folks. Okay, sorry about this. Whatever the situation, it seems that there is no way that both people could have what they want. They think that they have to give up on what they want or the other person does. See, that is the most common outcome. That is what people are used to. It's hard to realize that there is a peaceful solution. It's hard to accept a possibility that seems so uncommon. I just realized that when I promised, I vowed to never force my children to do what they did not want to do. I put myself in the perfect position to be open to peaceful answers. Peaceful solutions require that everyone involved agrees. This does not mean that they just say they agree, but that they fully, truly agree, because that solution is something they like. So I have been using the one rule for at least 38 years. For most of those years, it was called the power of respect, and there were 108 respect tools, skills, and strategies I used to make it work. That's why I know I've found a true solution, mighty enough to stand on its own. One rule. In case some of you don't know, the one rule came into being one night when I wondered if people would actually have to learn the 108 tools, skills, and strategies I'd use to create respectful relationships with the kids in my life. That night I asked myself, of the 108, what is the least that people need to know to be able to raise happy kids? The one rule was my answer, and that one rule is powerful enough to create peace between parents and kids, and powerful enough to be your fail-safe in your intention to raise happy kids. The one rule is peace in action. Here are a couple of examples of how the one rule can ensure happy kids and peace between adults and kids. My youngest daughter and my 6-year-old grandson were visiting. The one rule had just taken on its name. As I was explaining the process to them, my daughter used the word agreement to explain the process in one word. I liked it. I use it. It seems appropriate that the one rule has a one-word description. My grandson liked to watch TV and YouTube video cartoons. My daughter did not really want him to do that, especially as much as he wanted to. One time when he asked me to set up my laptop for him, I told him that I felt uncomfortable doing this because his mom did not feel good about it. I wanted to work this out with her too. He thought about this briefly and suggested that he and I play cards. So we did. We had fun. So here, all people involved were honored. Peace was maintained. Everyone felt cared about. Another example is from someone I coached on the one rule. One issue she had was feeling uncomfortable, always buying her 5-year-old daughter things every time they went to the store, especially when her daughter was not behaving in ways she liked. She came up with an idea that they all liked. She made a chart of behavior that she liked. Her daughter could earn money for those behaviors and buy her own things. Her daughter liked earning money, and the parents liked the behavior. Here again, all people involved were honored. Peace was maintained, and everyone felt cared about. So I hope you'll join me in the movement to help kids grow up happy and in peace. Use the one rule. Become an affiliate or a partner. Earn 50% commission. Share this with many, many more. The affiliate and partner program are part of the Happy Kids business launch. Starting now, join us. That's another thing. There is an affiliate program. And if you go to www.happykidsco.org, and Happy Kids Co is CO, then at the bottom of every page is where you can sign up for the affiliate program. You just put in your email and you get taken to the affiliate site. You'll have your own page there and you have your own link and you can send it out to social media or emails. I'm going to be talking with the company that's providing this. So there will be more going on in terms of what's available to share. So that's part of what I'll be doing. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Oh, it's not wanting to respond. Okay. Now I'm going to share one of the lessons, a video from one of the lessons. We touched on this in the last video on peace, but I want to emphasize it here. Okay, lesson 5. I think it's agreement, not sacrifice. I wonder if well, I think that's what this is called. Of all that I've discovered and created to create harmony with kids, the one rule is the simplest and most powerful strategy I've come across so far. It's a clear, simple version of what I actually did to create harmony with kids, my kids, their friends, the kids I worked with. The one rule is not to make you agree. It is to help you, support you, as you find something that you all easily agree to. Too often the habit is to insist on what you want, no matter what anyone else wants, or to give in to others, no matter what you want. The one rule changes this. When you become aware that there are differences between you, decide to use the one rule to find a harmonious solution to your differences. You're not giving up on your personal desire. You're expanding it to include someone else, like your child. The one rule expands everyone's goal to include harmony and the satisfaction of all involved. When you use the one rule, you are committed to finding a solution that everyone involved can agree to, because it is a solution that is satisfying to everyone. Of course, you only have to decide you're part of it if it's satisfying to you. And share ideas. I mean, that's not required, but it could be helpful. This is what you commit to when you use the one rule. Everyone involved happily agrees with the solution. That is the rule. I call it happy agreement. Today, just think about this. Neither you nor your kids are expected to have to agree to something you do not like or that is disappointing. You agree to something that you like, that pleases you. For example, I am agreeing to stop this show if necessary. In order to focus on saving the house. So, and it feels fine to me to do this. Once you are convinced that the one rule is as strong as I know it to be, you know you can rely on it to get you back to harmony with the kids in your life. The one rule is so powerful, just using it can help you get to harmony. Of course, you have to use it. You can't just know about it and not use it. However, I just became aware of something. Knowing about it is like planting a seed. Just knowing about it is the seed that changes how things were. You now know that something exists that might help you create harmony with or between your kids if it's used. Most likely, eventually, you'll use it. Someday, you'll have to give it a try. If you take it as far as telling your kids about it, they are very likely to use it. At least that has been my experience with kids. In fact, that might be a good strategy. Tell your kids about the one rule and how it works, and tell them you want to use it, but might forget or not be able to. So you hope they'll help you out by remembering and actually putting it to use. When you make the one rule a common way to interact with your kids and help your kids use the one rule to find their own solutions, you have done a lot toward making harmony the foundation of your family. And these are questions for this this lesson in the Happy Parents, no, Friendly Parents, Happy Kids, Happy Parents too. Yeah, I'll tell you. It feels so good to keep the flow of good feelings with whoever you're with. But I'm thinking here in terms of between the parent and child, so good to keep the good feelings going. No fighting, no hurting feelings. It's just good all the way around. So these are questions in the lesson. Let's go through them. Think of a situation you would like to solve using the one rule. How would you like the situation to be solved? Write this down if you wish. It's good to get clear on what you want, because it's not always easy if you haven't practiced it. And I know that there are adults who have not practiced this. So, okay. What is another way you might like it to be solved? Think of another way it might be solved. Repeat this process with as many situations as you like, daily if possible, to make it a habit. Okay, I like that. As you may have experienced by now, knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. Okay, well, that's good. Now, let's see. I think, let me go over to the challenge. I didn't remember that I had it up. This is the one rule challenge. Okay, I'm just going to share it with you. But when it's actually created into a challenge, this is just the script for it or something. I'm not sure. But it'll be for 3 days. And the focus is getting back to inner harmony. Okay, I've come across many ways to get to harmony. Now, see, this is a work in process, so there's some typos here. Okay, in this challenge, I share what I use daily to get back to harmony. It makes me think of learning how an airplane flies, because I didn't know this. Constantly course correcting. I heard that the airplane rarely is focused in the direction it's going. It's constantly course correcting because it's constantly thrown off. So since inner harmony is my course, of course, if you already know how to do this, there's no need to learn another way unless you want to. Whether you want to feel better, to have good interactions with kids, or just for yourself, there are other ways to change your focus, change your thought, what you're paying attention to, working out. The following challenge is what I do most commonly. Walking my talk. I would like to share something here since my connection here inspired its creation. I'm creating a challenge. I think it is a 3-day challenge. It's just taking form, so I'm not quite sure. Most people will have to join one of my membership groups to access it. Well, that was a thought I had. Maybe I'll do that, maybe not. I was very surprised to find that I have to go through this challenge at the same time you are. I got to a point in my work where I did not know what to do next. I knew where I wanted to go, but I came to a wall and could not figure out what to do. I wonder if that's what's going on with all this. It did not feel good, especially at this point in my journey. I felt lost and bewildered. Then I remembered, do what I do when I want to shift how I feel, shift to feeling better. Do what I'm sharing in the challenge. So here's the challenge. Shift your focus. That's one possible name. Shift your focus. Feel good again challenge. Oh, there it is. All right. Day 1. Be aware of how you're feeling. Setting up your guide, feeling good. When I first thought of doing this challenge, I never thought I would use myself as an example of this at work. But here I am, needing to walk my talk. This day helps you become aware of how you're feeling. If we are used to feeling a certain way, we may not pay much attention to it. And for all the years I've been doing this, I felt bad, but had forgotten that I know a way to shift so that I can feel good again. What I did helped me shift from really feeling bad to really feeling good, filled with hope and satisfaction. Yes, indeed, folks. Even in this situation, I'm able to course correct and keep feeling good. Okay. Day 2, first step. There are 2 possible first steps. 1, getting rid of the bad feelings. 2, starting my pattern interrupt. I choose one to start. This time it was getting rid of the bad feelings. I use a breathing technique I learned many years ago. I breathe out through my mouth. I keep doing this until I do not think the thoughts that were causing me to feel bad. As I breathe out, I pay attention to feelings and thoughts flowing out of me. I was more recently reminded of this practice and added something that helps get rid of the past, breathing out as much as I can. It also helps keep my lungs clear. Day 3, my pattern interrupt. One of the most valuable practices I've come across recently is what my inner guidance calls pattern interrupt. I mentally repeat a positive phrase silently in my mind until I'm done. I knew that pattern interrupt is a term used in NLP, but I didn't know exactly what it meant. About a week after I'd been practicing my pattern interrupt, I learned from a friend who knows about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that pattern interrupt is a technique that you learn to use on other people. You say something that interrupts a pattern that they are displaying. I can see how that would work. And that's why I call this my pattern interrupt, because it's not used on someone else. This is just for me to use on myself to interrupt my patterns. When I find myself feeling a way that I don't want to feel, I use my pattern interrupt until it just fades from my awareness. Then I discover that I'm feeling a way I like to feel. I can also use it when I find myself thinking thoughts that I know are going to make me feel ways I don't want to feel. I repeat the phrase in my mind until, well, it usually just stops on its own. At some point, I become aware that I'm not using it anymore and my thoughts don't bother me. Soon after I discovered my pattern interrupt, a sister told me that she had started using a mantra she created in a class she'd taken. It seems to have a similar effect for her. So it seems that you can find your own phrase. Mine is a phrase. Well, right, anyway, it was word, sentence, mantra that suits you, and use it to change your state of being. Okay, that's as far as the challenge has gone right now. Let's see. Now I want to go. Oh, I see. Okay. I want to go. Oh, yeah. Well, I can show you briefly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here. This is the course. It's not okay. Okay, this is not going to work out too well. Oh, here you can see this is even on the course page, there's a way to sign up to become affiliate. And this here is where you put your email. And there's no cost. There's no risk. Just a chance to earn 50% of any sales that you make. Okay. I wanted to show you this. There's a lot of information in this website. It connects with the YouTube channel, blog, the magazines I've created are here. Anyway, there's a lot. Podcast, I have to put a lot more on the podcast. There are a number of podcasts on there, but there's a lot more that need to go on. I will be sending out this link. And one of the main things that I'm going to be doing is reaching out to groups that are helping create peace and harmony in the world and good feelings. And sharing this with them, inviting them to become partners or affiliates, or just share this powerful information with people that connect with them. Okay, so you can join my basic discounted membership for $199 a month. All the way, there's various levels of membership, including the final. You could join the Prime membership, and you get coaching as well as calls and Facebook group, and you can join for a year. If 2 people did that, that would take care of my house issue at the moment. So, or if 1 person joined the Cave of the Heart, let's see. I wonder if it is here. I think so. Yeah, there it is. If 1 person joined the Cave of the Heart for a year, that would take care of all of the house issues. Okay. Well, let's stop the share. Okay. Well, that's it. Not sure when I'll see you again. Please use the one rule, and I wish you all well. Get on my mailing list. That's on the www.happykidsco.org. Scroll down and you can sign up, get on the mailing list. Because the offers will also have information like things that I share here, maybe even just something to think about for the day. Okay. Oh, gotta end this. I keep forgetting to do this. Now I remember it.